before I met Sharona and learned so many tools and a better understanding of adoption, especially this concept of abandonment. My daughter was very violent, throwing furniture, like she's a little girl and she's throwing very big chairs, way bigger than her, like across the room. She was so violent, my mother, who lived with us, had to move out to be safe. She was even hurting our dog, who she loves very much. And she wasn't talking very much. She was mostly screaming and crying. And she'd already been to psychiatrists and psychologists and all kinds of therapies and different medications with very little progress. And she wasn't really learning in school either. So then after I practiced everything with her, that was, I think, like June and July, something like that, during the summer. I would say since August, we've maybe had 3 violent events, and before then they were daily. And even when we had these violent events, they were 5-10 minutes. They used to be like 2-3 hours. So that's the biggest, because once we don't have violence, and then she starts to find her words, then we can start understanding more. She can say what she needs or what she feels, and then I can respond and teach her or help her navigate the situation. And because of Sharona, I know what to say. Yeah. And so she's much calmer and more peaceful. And she was talking about wanting to die and wanting to kill herself, or just wishing God would take her life. And she still does that sometimes, but before it was all the time. And now she's talking about living a long, long life, and all the things she'd like to do in her long, long life. The first big change, I would say, is changing my behavior in response to hers, because I could understand that it was like a switch flipped, and she's not doing it on purpose. And so that's like a whole different way. She doesn't need punishment or a timeout or to learn, and it's not the right time to teach and talk either. And so when she's like that, I say to her in a very calm, quiet voice, I understand you're having a lot of big feelings right now. That's normal. Everyone has big feelings. When you're ready for a hug, let me know, and we can hug as long as you like. And we do that. She now knows that, and I don't even have to say that anymore. She just comes and says, I need a hug. And I say to her, I know that you feel really sad or guilty when you say mean things or throw things or break things, anything that you should, is against the safety rules. And then that makes you have even bigger feelings, and you're embarrassed. And I want you to know you don't need to be embarrassed. I'm your mother. I love you no matter what. And all you need to do, you don't even need to say you're sorry. Once you feel you're managing your feelings, just come to me and say you're ready for a hug, or don't even say anything. Just start hugging me. So I would say that's the way I changed myself in front of her. And then I worked on not so much in front of her. I worked on the grounding, to be in the moment, and there's different ways to do that, not just breathing, but like really being aware of your feet, like you feel your socks and your shoes on your feet, and you feel the hard floor under your feet. Hug your dog. How does your dog feel? Is it soft and fluffy? Things like this to help her be back in the moment. Well, it was life-changing for me. And I know that there's other amazing therapies we did around the same time in parallel, and I think it all was like companions, you know, complementary to each other. But I feel the other things we did were more to help me, where what Sharona did with me helped me to help.
Thank you. Thank you.